Welcome to Unrolled. We are Mikeless again today, so he's too busy with life, I guess.
It's
I
okay.
don't really know.
I mean, it's okay.
It's New Year's Day. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I forgot your name.
Steve. That's all right. I forget
Steve.
it sometimes too. Niemeyer.
You're from the...
He's a
Grafton Fudge.
and he,
Yeah, okay, you're the fudge packer.
And he's,
Right.
he's a firefighter too.
I thought you were. I thought you were the fudge packer when I walked in.
That's right.
And of course, Drew's our other fudge packer.
True.
Across the table here, and I'm Chuck. This is episode 109. 109 or 1010?
Well, I think it's 109.
I think it's 109, yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So our episode last week's got like over 2,000 views. I was surprised by that.
It was a good one.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. Oh, yeah? I don't think I filled this right, is what I think.
You know what? I might be the only person that brought a working lighter. Because I know that one was empty, so I brought mine. You need it?
Well, mine was thrown in a bathtub last night
Oh, shit.
because my granddaughter likes to throw things in the bathtub when it's full. She will literally take things from everywhere in the house and run because she knows that we'll stop her if we see her doing it and run. And she's gotten, before she was just dropping them in, but now she's yeeting them. As soon as she thinks she's close enough, she just eats them in there. It's like, what the hell? So you can't be relaxing like in a hot, because it's wintertime, dude. I like to fucking soak in a hot bathtub. It just makes my knees feel better, makes my back feel better. I just like to soak, and you can't just close your eyes and soak with her running around because you get a shampoo bottle in the head. Just random. She throws my my house shoes, which are Crocs. She throws them in there all the time when I'm in there. It's like, what are you doing? Why?
What did you do last night? Just
But
hang out in the crib?
yeah, I don't do anything on New Year's. I never have. But mine was tossed in a bathtub last night, so mine might have some issues. I haven't tried to use it since.
Do we, we just chilled at the crib, and Sailor went and stayed at a friend's house. The boys are gone, of course, and Sailor's still at her friend's house. And we even went over there and we're like, you cool? You ready to leave? You know? And because I don't want to be that person that your kid just stays at somebody else's house all day. But this kid's mom like just loves all the kids, and she's like, yeah. So she's still fucking over there, asking to stay the night again. I'm like, enjoy your time alone, Melissa.
Yeah, my niece has left about 6 tonight, so right before you texted.
Mm-hmm. Heck yeah. Yeah, but I was trying to find somewhere to watch the shit on TV last night. You know.
What? Did you watch Armageddon yet? You
No.
motherfucker. You told me you would watch it.
I will watch it.
You've been saying that for 3 weeks.
I know, but I got
This guy.
Armageddon?
Llamageddon. Yes.
Oh,
It's free on Prime.
okay.
So if you got a Fire Stick, just go to your Fire Stick, search Llamageddon, and watch it. It's the best movie ever made. Ever made.
So it's on
It's on Prime. Yeah, for free. That's what's wrong with mine.
Sharknado style? Or?
Yeah. Sharknado had a much bigger budget, I would guess.
He was telling me, was this the one you were telling me about how they couldn't do the effects, so they just...
No, that's Velocipaster, and Velocipaster's just as good. So
That one
so
I saw parts of that.
Velocipaster?
Yes, he turns into a raptor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the best part of that whole movie is in the beginning when his parents die in the car explosion, and they pan over to the car explosion, and it just says VFX car explosion.
Man.
There's one on YouTube too.
You got it?
It's wet. There's one on YouTube too that is actually popular, but I don't remember the name of it. But I think it has the Hoff in it.
Really?
I
Hasselhoff?
think so. Yeah.
Dude, I don't... Melissa wanted to watch this movie, and it took us like 2 days to watch it because everything going on. It's on Prime too. It's called Salt Lick. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's fucked up. I think you would like it for its weird darkness. You know, like it's got some. It's wild. You don't know till the end exactly what the fuck's going on. and it's I mean, you might not watch it, but I'll give you a synopsis. It's like this poor kid, they're going to Oxford. So he shows up, he's like on scholarship, everybody else is rich.
Right.
And he like kind of just like creates this tale of how he's like, his parents are addicts and he's on his own, and he befriends this really rich dude. And becomes his friend, and it pisses everybody off. Well, the guy invites him to his house, and his house is called Salt Lick. It's this big fucking like sprawling English countryside mansion thing. So the guy spends the summer there, and it's him like working everybody in the house, and he ends up at the end like owning the place.
Oh, so he's like a con man.
Yeah.
And he's like working. Okay.
Dude, it's
okay.
fucking it's fucking cool.
Okay.
Because I was like the whole time like, this is fucking wild, and then I found it. Yeah, at the end it told you what happened, and I was like, wow. So good. It's a Salt Lick if you want to watch it. And what other one do we watch? It's called Wilderness.
Hey, I'll watch it, Drew. I'll watch it.
I know. And
3 weeks from now, we'll be like, no,
I'll get
no, I
back to you.
haven't watched
I'll
it.
get back to you.
I haven't watched it.
Nah, yeah, you know. But that was a good one.
I'll pull a Drew on Drew.
Mm-hmm.
We tried watching Krampus, and it was so bad we didn't even make it through it.
The old lady watches that movie. I don't. It's bad, but I think it's meant to. It's like high budget too, but it's high budget meant to be bad.
Oh, this was a
Yeah, it's
different
meant to be
one
horrible.
then.
Was it?
Yeah. I
It's
think
not
it
the one
was-
with Champ in it. I don't know
No.
the actor's name, but Champ had the one guy he's on. I think he's on Parks and Rec. The nerdier guy.
No, there was nobody in this.
Oh, really? Okay, it's a
I think
different
it was
one.
filmed on an iPhone 3.
Lamageddon is. I'm gonna tell you, I love Lamageddon. It's like but because it's so fucking horrible, it's so bad. You kind of have to make yourself watch it
Yeah.
because it's so bad. But after you watch it the first time, you're gonna be like, oh, that was okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then you'll start, like, if you watch it a second time, you'll start noticing things, right, that you didn't notice the first time, because the first time you're just kind of forcing yourself to watch it. You'll start noticing things, and then the third time you watch it the third time, because you're like, oh, how much shit did I? There's a lot of shit in there that you might miss if you're not actually paying attention. The little Easter eggs and stuff that they do, and that are just kind of comical. They're not being serious at all. It was made by college kids as a film program, and I don't even remember what year it was now, but it was when it first came out on Amazon Prime. It was $1 million to view. So, and then of course now it's free. So, but I think that's what that was. It was the most expensive movie on Amazon Prime.
It only takes one view, though.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're fucking in there.
It only takes fucking Elon Musk or somebody to go, huh? What can this be?
Dude, how was the shop the other day when you had to leave to go up there? Was it busy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was okay. It was New Year's Eve, so it was actually a lot busier than we thought it was going to be. We were going up there just to do a lot of cleaning and stuff, and it was steady all day. People in and out of town. So,
Heck yeah.
But they had the ice skating up there, so
They do?
yeah.
Where?
At what's the name of the bar right there?
the loading dock.
The loading dock.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah,
I knew that for some
warehouse
reason. I knew
thing.
that.
Yeah, so they got people in and out.
It's not even been cold enough for water. I guess they're freezing it
How do they-
themselves.
So,
Yeah, I
How
guess.
do they do that?
Well, I know ice hockey rinks are like there's something built into the floor.
I don't know if they have some kind of blower or something.
And the ice in an ice hockey rink is only like an inch thick.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even very thick.
Really?
Yeah, but it's on top of a floor. So it doesn't have to be that thick. It's just got to be thick enough to skate on.
Isn't that like some little basketball courts? Like, yeah, didn't like Madison Square Garden or something like have a like the floor would come back
Yeah,
or
the
something?
Knicks played there and the Rangers played there.
Yeah.
I think, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I think the floor like came back or something like.
But yeah, well, I'm
retracted.
sure it does. I'm sure they
That's
can
wild.
move things around, and everything's sectional and movable. So, yeah.
Dude, that field at City Park, the soccer field, it's amazing. It can heat to like 90 plus degrees. The field can they can heat the,
Oh, no
the
shit.
ground underneath, so I wouldn't
Oh,
have
no
playing
shit.
outside. and it's got constant suction on it, pulling all the water off when they need to if it's raining. Just whole thing. It's just really cool. And they got these like.
You think they do that for baseball or football? Then
Yeah.
you would think, as big as the NFL and the MLB, you'd think they do that for those sports. Suction the water off instead of having them run around in water and mud.
Is there very many grass fields for football? I wonder. Like,
What are they? If they're not grass, what are
Are
they?
they turf? Like some like that artificial grass?
I think they got away from a lot of the turf fields.
Yeah, I just know that
I didn't know it was artificial turf. I thought it was grass.
I
I
just
thought it was just sod that they rolled in.
I don't know. I know that on the soccer fields, like that shit is precious. Like they get pissed. Like you can't step on it at all. Like at night they roll out these UV lamps, like on like big caster things
To keep the grass.
It just
So
goes
it's
back and
actual
forth.
grass.
Yeah, and but like people can't step on it with shoes that have been anywhere else because it could have
Yep, you'll transfer
a
seeds.
seed. Yeah,
You'll transfer stuff over.
I'm like that is
Yep.
crazy. I didn't think about that.
Yep.
So we took the tour when they.
That's a big deal when you get into high-end neighborhoods doing landscaping, lawn care.
Really?
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Damn.
Yeah. It's a
Is that how
big
they
deal.
keep it so nice and like uniform?
Well, they don't want to pay for the weed and feed people to come through and spray. And I mean, most people won't say nothing to you. Most people don't know that you just came from a weedy lot in fucking South Side. You know what I mean?
So-
straight to their Chesterfield sprawling ranch mansion home in Chesterfield, and
With their
they
golf
don't
course grass.
they don't know, but some of them will say at the beginning when you're bidding, they'll say something about it. They might come out and bitch if they see something pop up. They might come out and bitch at you. They might. It's a big deal. People take it seriously, very seriously. So
I don't have time for that.
no, it's fucking grass. I don't even mow my grass. I mow my grass about 5 times a year. Well, first of all, from here, I won't be able to mow my yard until probably into May, when it should be getting mowed in March. I won't be able to mow it till May because I won't be able to put a lawnmower on it. And it's a hill. Figure that out. It'll be so wet I won't be able to put a lawnmower on it. And so I won't be able to mow mine until towards the end of May.
Damn.
And then I mow it one last time in September, and I don't mow it again after that. I just let it kind of grow tall, and the snow and weather will kill it off, and it'll die, and it'll go back down. And
Is it good to like put stuff on the grass now? Like you're saying, like the weed killer and
no,
and
it's too late.
fertilizer and
It's
stuff.
too late now.
You have to wait till it gets later on and then put some pre-emergent down or something. I try and take care of my yard. I'm not good at it.
I don't because I've done it. I've done it for so long, and I don't fucking care about my yard at all.
Yeah.
So, I keep it cut in the summertime. I keep it cut enough to where the county's not on me about because I got an asshole neighbor back there,
Yeah.
where the county's not going to be on me about my grass. And other than that, I do not give a shit.
Let's say that you do it all day. The last thing you want to do is come home and do the same damn
So-
things.
I haven't done lawn care in a long time, and I still no
just-
desire to mow my own yard. So now once I do mow it, because like I said, I can't mow it again until May. I usually go over it 3 times, and it looks perfect, like I've been mowing it the whole time. Also, after I go over it 3 times, but I know how to set my deck heights for one,
Right.
and I know how to mow to where my chute is my second and third pass. My chute is not spraying grass in the
Yeah.
middle. It's not. I put all that shit out around the edges.
Mhm.
So
Oh, you
I
got.
know
you
how
got
to
a
do
system.
it. Yeah, I know how to do it. So
Mine's terrible when I do it. Like
I-
it's. I always try to make a pattern and it never works out. And
I'm a stripe
So
master.
you have to get a striper, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
just gotta know how to do it.
Yeah. I try to put stripes in it. It doesn't look good.
but how come like
You gotta have a decent mower for one. You can't really do it with a push mower. You gotta have a decent mower. You gotta have like a decent walk behind or stand on or a zero turn. You gotta have a decent mower. You just gotta know how to do it.
how come it looks like on some I see one of the rows looks lighter and then one looks darker and then lighter.
Just the way they do it.
That's why it's cool. I mean,
Just the way the grass is blowed. They only look like that while they're taking pictures. They don't look like that for very long.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think, and I may be wrong, but if you cut it the same way over or like constantly. It'll always lay that way. So, no.
Not that I've ever seen. Not that I've. Now they sell a stripe kit to put on mowers for people who can't stripe. You know, people that don't know how, and that mashes the grass down. So then your pattern it'll look like that because of course you're going this way, turn around, coming back this way, that way, that way, that way, right? And it mashes it so it'll roll the grass that way, and so all it does is it's just laying the grass over as you go over it. And so if you go this way, it's laying the grass over that way, and if you go this way, it's laying so that's why you get your different colors, your different patterns. Grass is always going to just come right back up.
See, that's I told you. I don't know shit.
See, you learn something fucking new every day. Yeah.
Always. How are you going to keep as it grows? It's going to come back. It's going to go back upright as it. Like if you walk on it, think about walking on it. If you walk on it, you push it down, but after like 20 minutes, it comes right back. It's not your footprint's not in the grass no more. So,
what's the best kind of grass? Like the fanciest grass?
I don't know. I can tell you what they use in Chesterfield. They use like a bluegrass fescue mix in Chesterfield. That's what they use. So, but I'm not that deep into it. I just know how to mow it.
but I wonder what's on a golf course, because that shit's like
I just know how to mow it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. The fescue, the bluegrass is a thick short cover, and the fescue is like a thin long grass. So they use the mixture so they can have a little bit of height, but all the ground covering still, basically. So that's what I understand of it anyway. So I don't know a whole lot about grass itself. The best time to seed is is in fall, as the birds start to go away. Once you see less birds, you never see no birds, but once you start seeing less birds, it's the best time to seed.
Because they don't eat all of them.
No, the birds don't come down and eat them all. Plus, it's a little wetter in fall, so it gets down into the ground a little deeper, and then that gives it time to. It should start germinating before it freezes. So as long as it starts germinating and has some growth before it freezes, it should come back real healthy the following spring. It should. That doesn't always work, but it should. Or
I know.
I have to re-listen so I get all this down.
Or wait till the rainy season. Wait till it starts raining all the time and then seed then, because then it gets plenty of water. It's packed in there plenty good.
Dude, did you see that? I doubt it'll happen. I'm kind of waiting and hoping it does. That tomorrow they're supposed to release like 200 names on that Epstein client list.
Ah, bullshit. No. Well, they already released. They already released a bunch of names. Here's the problem with it. We're going to get into this, huh? But here's the problem with it.
But I mean, people
a lot of people, listen, when you're a rich and famous movie star and you're out at a party, this dude's going to be out at parties. That's who he hobnobbed with, right? That's who he hobnobbed. Even if you weren't buddies with him, you might have been at the same party with him. You know what I mean? You got to think about how many parties have you been to, like at a bar or something like that. You know, a public party at a bar or something like that. There might be a pedophile in the room. You don't know. You might have shook hands with him. You don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah, but
no, they were talking about like for his island though.
Okay.
Like, so
because the first one they put out was like the flight logs, and that doesn't. Well, so it doesn't mean nothing. Just to throw names out there, because I didn't look at it because I know. Just to throw names out there. It doesn't mean nothing if George Clooney got on a private jet with him in New York and flew to Los Angeles. Clooney might have just needed to get to Los Angeles. This dude's got a private jet.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean anything, and that's not unusual for that to happen. It's not an unusual thing.
Right. But like what they were saying was like for example, Hillary turned off her Twitter feed and comments yesterday because it's assumed that this John Doe 36 is Bill, and he made 50 trips to his island. 50 trips. And so
everybody knows Bill went.
Right. But they were saying they're like, oh, well, you know, he might have not known what's going on. I'm like, if you make 50 trips somewhere, you know what the fuck's going on.
Everybody knows Bill knew what was up. Everybody knows Bill was part of it. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows. That's common knowledge. So if they released the list and Bill Clinton's on it, who's surprised? Nobody.
But it gives validity to it, I guess. You know, then like Yeah, but who they are going to ruin? Because if they're going to ruin people, you know what I mean?
They're not.
Like if you'd really have to piss the New World Order people off to get, thrown out on that list, I guess. If they're letting it out. Or is there enough pressure that they're going to do it?
It doesn't. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. Are they going to prosecute anybody on it?
It'd be really cool if they did.
And who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
And who cares? I'm so over that shit because they're not going to prosecute nobody ever. So, doesn't matter. Even if I bet right now, well, if Trump gets elected, he'll prosecute the guys on the blah blah blah. No, he won't. No, he won't. Nobody's ever going to change nothing. Nobody's ever going to do any of it because even if they're not part of it, that means they have to go against it, and they want to keep all their money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to lose all their money, so they don't want to look like Corey Feldman or whichever one it is. I don't know which one it is.
Which one?
The two Coreys.
Yeah.
One of them was raped and molested in
I think
Hollywood.
they
They were both.
yeah.
They both
Yeah.
were. But one of them's dead. I don't know which one's dead.
Corey
which one's
Haim's
not.
dead.
James did.
Okay, so, right, but they don't want to be Corey Feldman
Yeah.
out there being ostracized, looking like a fool. You know what I mean? They don't want to be.
No. He's got sweet dance moves though. But yeah, so but that's supposed to be tomorrow. So I was just curious. I was curious to see if they actually.
They're not going to do.
Nah, not gonna do anything.
They're not going to do nothing, so it doesn't even fucking matter. It's going to be a bunch of people sharing a fucking list for absolutely no fucking reason.
So who do you think he worked for?
Who?
Epstein.
I think Rogan's got it right. I think he was an agent.
From
I don't know.
another country or a CIA or.
I think he was an agent. I think he was compromising people.
Mm.
Getting dirt, getting dirt. That's what I think.
But why are people so creeps to go fucking with little kids and shit and it's gross, man.
And I think whoever he was an agent for is still out there, and they've still got all this compromising information.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're part of the reason why nothing will ever occur.
I mean, because the information's power, right?
Right, because if they lose the compromise, if it gets outed, they lose that power over those people. So I think they're part of the reason why it won't go nowhere. So,
Damn.
So maybe it's the Clintons, whoever the Clintons involved in. Maybe they were part of the people that have all this information.
They fucking killed a lot of people.
A lot of people sure have committed suicide around them.
Yeah,
That's for damn
shot
sure.
themselves in the.
They are most definitely very depressing people.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know, but nothing's gonna happen. So who gives a fuck? No, nobody cares. Just nothing's gonna happen from it.
I haven't read anything about it, but I just saw the headline and I was curious if you saw anything about it. Maybe not, but speaking of Trump, he got eliminated from the ballots in 2 states. They can't even vote for him. What was that about?
Colorado and
Maine
have taken him off the ballot because of the January 6th charges, which are also nonsense. They also said that now he can be sued by the Capitol Police, but wait a minute.
They were there.
They were there letting people in the fucking door. It's on video. I hate that shit too because it's all on fucking video. Did you not watch them escorting these people around like that fucking shaman guy with the fucking horns and shit?
Yeah.
There's actual pictures of police sitting next to him or standing next to him in Pelosi's office. They escorted him through the building to take pictures. They shot one lady because they had to shoot somebody or the story falls apart, right? I mean, you got to shoot somebody when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, she was a veteran, wasn't she?
I don't know, but you got to shoot somebody. You can't just, let everybody run willy-nilly through there. You got to make it look good, so somebody's got to die.
So then what happens is people have to write him in those states,
And that will never happen. That'll never happen. No, they can't stop him from writing him in. And if he gets enough write-ins that he wins, then that's just the way it works. Too fucking bad. Doesn't matter if he was on the ballot or not. They can still write him in. The problem
as
is,
long as he's registered as a candidate, right?
right, in the United States.
Yes.
The problem is that the only way that will work is if so many people write him in that the people checking the ballots are literally scared to death to put it any other way.
Yeah, because there'd be like 100,000
Yeah.
votes total cast, you
Yeah.
know, or something if it was,
Yeah.
not for him.
The only way it works is if the people who count the ballots are like, there's no way we can. There's too many people. There's too many people wrote him in. There's no way we can jade it a different direction. There's just no way, and that'll never happen. It'll never happen. And I'll tell you why. Because it's all psychology. You don't want to root for a losing team, do you?
Right.
And that's how they do it. That's how every election year. That's how they do it. You don't even know they're doing it. That's why they tell you so and so's up in the polls more than this person. That makes them the winner. You're more likely to vote for the winner. If you know that guy's going to win, you're more likely to vote for him. The polls aren't real. They make that shit up so that they can put it out that this guy's winning in the polls.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're more likely to vote for the winner. Yeah. It's all psychological, so it'll never ever happen. Never happen. So.
But what if the electors from those states just went and voted for him anyways? Cast their ballot for him.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can. So that's the only part that I don't know.
You know what I
about.
mean?
So they can write him in and they win. That's actually decent enough. I don't know.
No,
I don't know how that works now. I might be wrong. They can write him in even if he's not legally on the ballot, like as a candidate.
No, what I'm saying is like, so he wins. He doesn't win the state because.
No,
I
I understand what you're saying, but that brings up a different question. If enough people write him in, but because he's not on the ballot, do the electors still have to elect him, or can they choose between the two people who are on the? I don't know.
Didn't that come down whenever he won last time?
I don't
One
know.
of the electoral college votes, the guy that votes for that said he wasn't voting for him anyway.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that happened last time. I don't remember what
But-
the outcome of it was.
But it doesn't. But if they're writing him in, if he's not on the ballot and he's a write-in, do the electors in that state, do they have to elect him? These fucking jack-offs, I swear to God, they've been told Monday night so many fucking times that I'm going to smash their fucking shit.
Oh, these guys.
Yes. And anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know about that.
Well, I think that's the whole point of them still having to make their vote because they can.
Because they go to the Capitol,
Yeah, I
like,
think they're
and then they
supposed
cast
to-
their vote for whoever they supposed to vote for. But if they,
I don't know.
if there was some coup and they were like, okay, I'm gonna cast my votes for.
I don't care if Trump's on the ballot or not. Just give me a decent. Give me fucking Swami. I'll vote for Swami. I don't give a shit if he's Hindu or whatever the hell, wherever the hell he's from. He's not going to be on the ballot because he's brown. But I mean that's a sad thing to say in this country still. But it's the truth. He's got a funny name and nobody's going to vote for him.
What's his name? Like Rama
Lama Ding Dong
Yeah,
Swami or some shit. I don't know. But I've seen his videos. I've seen the things he's saying. He's sounds like a good candidate.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's not going to make it. So,
What happened to the dude from Florida? Is he still?
DeSantis?
Yeah.
DeSantis? I don't think DeSantis actually wants to win. I think DeSantis is fine in Florida where he is. They love him down there, and why would he leave? Why? He's
Yeah.
one of the most loved governors in the entire country. Why would he leave where he is? Florida certainly don't want him to leave. I can tell you that.
Yeah, he rocked the COVID shit down there, didn't he? Like, did a good job.
The man does a good job all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's done some weird things that the media makes sound that I've not looked into, so I don't know if they're actually was as bad as the media made them sound. But I'm sure they're not. But because the medium like that don't say gay thing, like I never looked into it because I don't really give a shit. But the media made it sound like it was just it was anti-gay. It was an anti-gay bill, but I don't know if it is or isn't. But so that's just something you probably shouldn't ought to do.
I mean, I'll tell you what though, dude. Trump has showed up at the last few UFC events I've watched.
Oh, I'm gonna
and
come.
People lose their shit when he shows up, like freak
Oh,
out.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
never heard anybody cheer so loud before.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's wild.
It's weird. Because he really didn't even do nothing. I mean, he did things. Don't get me wrong. I mean, things were better, the first two years for sure. The first 3 years for sure, things were a lot better.
Do you think that would have?
Well, he didn't really do nothing.
Do you think that he could have done more if people weren't trying to fucking crucify him every single day on TV?
I think he could have done more if he had wanted to do more. I think if he'd have wanted to do more, he could have done more. So I'll tell you what I would do my first day. All right, let's just do this.
Okay.
Right. We'll just go around the table. Your first day. My first day in is federal legalization across the board. Done. Fuck off.
Weed?
Marijuana.
Yeah.
And hallucinogens across the board, because that shit ain't killing nobody. I would disband, probably not first day, but along the orders of that shit. I would disband. I would defund the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the DEA, probably Homeland Security, and there's another one.
TSA?
EPA.
Not the EPA, but just like the law side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I would defund every single inch of it. Gone. See ya. You can come interview for the new position. You can come interview for the new position. You can come interview for the new position. Rest of it's gone. Done. The FBI ain't never been nothing but a political whatever the fuck you want to call it. They've only exist to create political targets. That's all they've ever done. They're just a tool. The CIA has probably gotten us in more shit than anybody else. So all the shady shit they've got going on. I would defund them, and I would create something new out of it that is more controlled and more, maybe not more controlled, but more. But they're just all too far gone. You know what I mean? They're just too far gone to fix at this point. So that's like not really first day shit, but right along the lines. No more money to Ukraine, no more money to Israel. I'd probably still send money to Uganda and places like that, because that's mostly being used for humanitarian aid. I'd probably still send that money out. Israel, nah, you're cut off. You want to blow up Palestine and figure it out on your own. I'm not paying for those bombs to blow up children's hospitals no more. Ukraine, now that's, you actually owe us money. We want all our money back. Figure it the fuck out. So, Dear Putin, hey, Ukraine's little bitch ass owes us all this money, so maybe leave them alone for a minute. We'd appreciate it until we can collect our fucking money. Because that's all been laundered back through. I'd immediately open investigations into every senator and congresswoman and man out there. Immediately. Right off the bat. That's a first day thing for sure. Investigations, subpoena their bank records, subpoena any information, any family, any close family's information, their trading records, their this, their that, their everything. And then give them the opportunity. You can resign, or we can go through with it. It's up to you. And then, if you want to be that corrupt, because there's, you're going to have to work within the system that's already there, which is a system of corruption. So maybe go along and go, listen, I'll shut this down, but you're going to play ball, or you're going to do what I want to do. This bill's going to go through, this bill's going to go through, this bill's going to go through, and this bill's going to go through. Or Mrs. Pelosi, we can find out why you're a fucking millionaire on a $160,000 salary a year. Or, so that, or we can pass national carry. One of the two. You know what I mean? So we can throw all these stupid gun laws out and pass national carry, and fucking, and I'd probably still investigate her stupid ass.
If my guns hadn't sank in a boating accident over the weekend, I would be a criminal today.
I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I wonder if they're just going to issue warrants, because they know you have them.
Who's going to enforce it?
That's just it. The sheriffs and so forth would have to go enforce it. But even then, if it's just a warrant, if you get pulled over and it's just a warrant, you're just going to jail. You're going to jail then and there anyway. It's going to be rather not the state's attorney or the judge to continue.
Oh, you mean they put a bench warrant out or whatever? Okay.
Yeah, to continue forward, because they know the guns are out there. We've had everybody bitches about gun registry, but we've had gun registry in this country since '68. Since the 4473. 4473 is a gun registry.
What did I see that number? It was something that was like 3 million registered Floyd owners or something, and there was like 12,000 guns registered.
The 4473 is a gun registry.
It's a background check through.
It's a gun registry.
Through the FBI, and then they use that to transfer that serial number of that gun to you.
Right. You have to write the gun number down.
Yes.
All that goes on the paperwork, and they have the 4473 information. So therefore, they have where that gun is, who bought that gun. It's a gun registry.
Right. They have who bought that gun.
Right.
They don't know what happens to it after that on the.
Well, you're not supposed to sell it unless it's illegal to sell it unless you file a 4473 to transfer it. It's illegal to sell unless you transfer it. So technically, they should know where that gun went. That
Not for private sales.
Doesn't always occur, but it even says that. It even says that for private sales. It's a gray area.
It's my responsibility as selling it to make sure that you can legally own it.
Right.
And the only way to really do that is to fill out a 4473.
It's a gray area.
It is, and that's where some of those loopholes come in.
Trust me.
I sell you a gun. It's my responsibility to know that you can own it. Only way we can do that is the 4473.
Right.
But does that happen every single day?
No. Well, trust me. I know.
Right. No.
I know. I sold guns up front for a couple of years.
Yeah, I did myself too.
So when the pawn shop was up here, I sold guns all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So not only does the Illinois State have the gun registry, the 4473, but at any point in time the ATF wants to show up anywhere, they have their own gun registry right there in the logs, in the I forget what the log's called, but in the logs that every gun shop across the country has to keep. Mm-hmm. They have the logs right there. So this country has gun registry already. Right. Oh, yeah. It's already in place.
It's a lot, and I get that, and a lot of people don't. They're like, "Oh, you can't make us register." Like, as soon as you bought it, it was registered to you.
If you bought it,
you call it whatever you want
from a shop. You registered it.
Yeah, you call it whatever you want, but it's essentially a registration.
And the anti people are like, well, if we just had common sense, maybe this guy who was a mental patient he can't have a gun legally in this country. Because he has to lie on a federal form, which is a felony. He has to lie on a federal form, which is a felony and illegal in this country, in order to tame that gun.
Yep.
So he's not allowed to have that gun. We have all these common sense gun laws that they want. We have already. They're already there. They're not being used. It's a failure it's not a failure of the laws and the rules. It's a failure of the people meant to enforce the laws and the rules, and they're just simply not doing it.
So you're saying bad people are finding out how to get guns?
Exactly.
Anyway?
Yeah. It's fucking weird how criminals find ways to commit crimes.
I didn't think that was possible. It's crazy. But when you were talking about the FBI earlier, about defunding those things,
they fund them all.
I know. I was listening to a guy talk, and I didn't really realize it. I knew this, but I didn't ever think about it. Like, so I guess the military the government can't use the military to attack citizens. Supposedly.
Well, they can.
Well, like National Guard probably, but you know what I mean. Like, so they use the FBI as like. Some of them they have like a QRF force, like a quick reaction force.
Yeah.
It goes in like fucking Green Berets and shit almost.
Well, it's like the police. The police are militarized in this country.
Yeah, like Ruby Ridge or something.
Right,
like
right.
And I'm like,
the ATF.
Yeah, to go attack their fucking
They go in and burn 76 women and children to death, and then say we didn't start the fire. Oh well, there's a video of you starting the fire. There wasn't a fire until you
But they didn't fucking run the tank through
rammed the tank through the fucking building and it started a fire. So,
dude, what a wild time that was in the 90s. I mean, just watching it on TV as a kid and being like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, somebody else watched it in person and he decided that they needed to pay the price. So, a year later, they paid a price for it. So, not to condone that, but that's what he did it for. He wasn't just he was, methed out and crazed, but
Oh, McVeigh.
yeah, McVeigh. He was methed out and crazed, but he had sincere reasons. So he had sincere motivation. You can't, if you're going to kill 76 women and children, then you need to lose. You can't just do this. And you want to know something? They haven't done it since. So there hasn't been a Ruby Ridge. There hasn't been a Waco. They haven't done it since. So obviously there was a lesson learned. This country doesn't listen to anything but violence. So.
Or you mean the government?
Yeah, the government doesn't. Well, the country, the people too. People don't listen to nothing but violence either. So.
Man, dude, it's been so long since I watched the news, like the news.
I don't watch anything at all.
Well, it was all kept popping on with the New Year's shit last night, right? So we
Yeah.
were watching, and I was just like, "Holy shit! Like this is the most depressing."
I don't watch none of it.
It's crazy.
No, that's why I didn't watch the ball drop. I thought about watching the ball drop because we had Carter and we kind of tried to keep her up to watch the ball drop. So if she'd have been up, I probably would have turned it on. But I didn't watch it. I watched Legato. And you can avoid commercials and everything with Legato.
So we may have discussed this before, but it still bothers me. How come when we were little, they showed the ball dropping at midnight? Did they record it and replay it? 'Cause now
they show it in Times Square. They record it in Times Square and replay it.
Right, but they don't do that anymore. It's shown at 11. They don't show it again.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So when
I didn't know that either.
yeah, when we were little.
Never watched it,
When
so
we
I
were
don't
little,
know
it was
that.
like I remember being 12 and the ball dropping, right?
Yep.
So now it's 11.
Huh. Fucking weird.
Yeah. So it's like they'll show it from.
The only place that matters is New York.
Right.
Fuck the rest of you.
So I mean, it would be cool to like watch it at actually midnight. It doesn't matter, I guess, but
That's dumb. That's dumb.
Mhm.
I guess they figured other cities in their time zone should do their own ball drop then.
Yeah, they just don't, and so it's But I was like, but in my head I'm thinking, did our parents
They
just
don't.
did our
Chicago-
parents just tell us it was midnight and they did it at 11 just to get us to fucking go to sleep? Or-
Chicago doesn't do their own thing. LA doesn't do their own thing.
Mm.
I would expect LA to do
There's
their
party.
own thing.
There was a party out in LA. Like they kept flashing to like music and shit out there, but it wasn't a.
I would expect LA to do their own thing. Fuck, they're 3 hours behind. It's what, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock there. Yeah.
It's wild. I don't know.
People are like, I'm not even at the party yet. What do you mean it's New Year's? I'm not even at the New Year's party yet. I ain't even left my house.
Yeah, I know it is much nicer being home though than it is out trying to like run around.
I've never
and do
done
shit.
it. I've never done it.
I
So
did
when
a
I
couple
was-
times when I was younger, it was miserable. And
When I was younger and partying, we would find one house to be at and stay there. Of course, most of us had warrants, so we didn't want to be out that night. You know what I mean? So we would find, all right, we're going to so-and-so's house, and you bring this, we bring this, and we got the drugs, we got the booze, and that's where we're at. And that's the way we did it. So I think I can remember, like, walking from one buddy's house to another's because we got thrown out of his house or something like that one time. I think I can remember doing that once, but we never drove around, ever. Too many cops, too much bullshit, too much risk, no point. Go where you're going mid-afternoon and just stay there.
I think I'm gonna try it tomorrow to get a hold of somebody about that building that we were talking about.
I went by there today, and it definitely needs some work. I don't know if that foundation is as bad as I thought it was.
What building are you talking about?
Next to the library, the big parking lot with that just garage building. We're getting removed from our current jiu-jitsu facility.
Your current what?
Jiu-jitsu facility. We're getting,
Oh.
and so we got to find a place to go.
Why are you getting moved? That's throwing you losers out and everybody else is staying? Or
Yeah, well, I mean, the place is the
that's
facility.
throwing the bad seeds out?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, they're just like fuck you guys.
No,
No,
I figured out.
no, I don't know exactly. Well, the people who own the
Like
gym
you,
sold it.
Tumor boy, get your friends and get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
they were.
You guys
Yeah.
got to stop showing up in your pajamas.
You guys are fucking embarrassing us. Fucking embarrassing us. No, but like, it's very willy nilly right now. Of like everything's up in the air. So like, I like to have assurance of that we'll have a place to go, we'll have a place to do things.
So they're making it's just the space is going away, not certain people. It's not like a.
No, it's just us.
Oh.
Yeah, so they're just expanding what they have now. It's like a like a CrossFit gym and
Oh.
It's a
trainers in there.
Oh, so but it's the jiu-jitsu thing entirely, not just a select couple of people have to.
The jiu-jitsu gym is
Right. Yeah,
the
okay.
space that we occupy.
Which
They
is-
want that for something else.
Okay.
So they told us.
Right.
Dude, the space we occupy might be as big as this garage in Matt's.
Right.
Maybe less. Probably less, actually.
Yeah, I think 24 by 24 is the mat size.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know if they're not getting paid enough by the guy who's our, professor, or they just don't want us there because we're in a kind of an awkward spot in there, anyways. So
Right.
It's really the first thing that people see when they get
Yeah.
in.
bunch of dudes grabbing on each other and sweaty and stuff. So yeah.
Sometimes we're wearing pajamas, sometimes we're not.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. But yeah, so we need to find a place. And if we're gonna, move again, I'd rather have some control over what's going on.
Do you hear music or is it just me?
No, it's
Okay.
these fucking idiots that aren't supposed to be there tonight, but they're there any fucking way.
So yeah, we can go up there. I was kind of in a hurry when I drove by there the other day, but next time I'm gonna try and stop and actually get out and see if I can see what it looks like from the inside. But they have a lot of the windows boarded up. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which building it is. Is it the big garage building?
Yeah.
Oh, with the garage doors and all that shit?
In the front, yeah.
Oh.
Right next to the library.
Oh. Is it for sale?
It's for a while they were basically giving it away, saying you had to fix the parking lot, put a new parking lot in. Somebody got it with whatever kind of shenanigans are going on in the city, but they were going to put another restaurant in there, but it fell through. So now it's just sitting empty and it's wide open. So somebody owns it, and I want to find out who it is, even if it's to rent it, or whatever. But that would be a good spot for a lot of things, but it'd be a good spot for a gym. The way it's set up, if you look inside, you can have locker room, you can have showers, you can have a little mat space, garage doors open, for like air, airflow, like summertime, all that shit. It'd be really. You could even put wrestlers in there if you really wanted to. But there is that wrestling club down in Wood River, though.
is there?
Yeah,
What wrestling club?
it's like it's called the Roughnecks. It's in the old 7-Eleven across from Wood River Park, where 7-Eleven used to be and shit.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like, we're just
I know what
right
you're talking
across
about.
the pool,
It
yeah.
used to be a gym. It used to be a MMA gym. I think at one point in time, or a boxing gym maybe. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Used to be like the War Room.
No, the War Room's still there. War Room's over on Lakin Boulevard.
Yeah, but it used to be something like that.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, it used to be something like that in there.
So, yeah, we gotta get that set up and shit. But we'll see what happens. Any good conspiracies you've seen lately?
Not really.
Damn.
Not really. Not that's fresh in my brain any damn way, because no, not really. I can't fucking think of any either right now.
Started following a flat Earth thing.
Yeah,
God.
It's the greatest entertainment ever.
The documentary that's on Netflix is the greatest entertainment ever. That
it?
documentary is just absolutely I don't even remember the name of it, but it's absolutely fucking, it's great. Because they prove themselves wrong over and over and over and over and over and over. Well, but if we do this, but this is why it failed. It failed because you're a bunch of fucking retards. Go the fuck away.
We say if you take off in a plane and you get to a cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, the nose is pointed up, so eventually, with the curvature of the Earth, you would just fly off into space.
That's not how it works.
And I'm like, that's what I was like,
So
doesn't even
so
make
that
any
actually
sense.
so that argument actually got me at first, right? I was like they brought an argument up, and I was like, yeah, why doesn't it? But then once you think about it for a second, you're like, because the craft is coordinated with not coordinated, whatever. It's set with the ground,
Yeah.
and so it's following. That's how it knows its altitude. It's following the
Right,
ground.
35,000 feet off the whole time. And then it goes around.
So, but at first, if you don't think about it, that's like their best argument because it'll get you. It gets you at first. That's the only one they have where you're like, yeah, why doesn't it? But then after you think about it for just a couple of seconds, you're like, oh yeah, well, it's because that's not the way, But if you don't know how airplanes or any of that shit works, then I could see how you'd be like, oh, wait a fucking minute, they're right.
Yeah, I looked at that and it did. It hit me first. I was like, huh? I'm like, no. That's
Right.
So yeah.
Well, they got the ones like, well, why do airplanes fly up and over the North Pole instead of just flying this way because the Earth's flat? No, because it's actually quicker. Don't ask me. I don't know why, but it's actually fucking quicker.
But speaking of that, though, that is so strange that you can't fly over Antarctica. Why can't you fly over Antarctica?
I mean, there's a lot of weird things. There's a lot of weird things. Antarctica it's a weird spot. So
I watched one today about Antarctica, and it was about a thing called Operation High Jump.
I did actually get you say that now because that made me think of Hollow Earth again. I seen something on Hollow Earth
Like an entrance.
just like a week ago. I seen something on Hollow Earth in the black sun and the Masons and what they believe, and I seen something on it just the other day.
Dude, Rex, my middle son, he is so scared of me now.
Why?
Because the kids watch all these videos about like Freemasons and Illuminati and shit. And I'm a Mason. So
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so he's like, you're really a Mason? I go, yeah, I'm a Mason. And so I showed him my ring and shit, and he's like, so fucking freaked out. And so I'll send him pictures randomly, shit of like the Mason Bible I have and all this stuff. He's like,
Why? My grandpa was a Mason. You got a Masonic Bible?
yeah.
You got like an older one?
Mm-hmm.
I've got an older one at my house. I'm not supposed to have it, apparently. I guess it's not. If you're not a Mason, you're not supposed to have.
It's an heirloom, you know what I mean? So like,
No.
so I have some like these old like.
I haven't. I've never actually gone through it. I've flipped through it, and I've seen some things that aren't in the other Bibles I have, but I've not ever actually went through it to see if anything's different. Nothing's different, is it? Yeah, I didn't.
No,
think
I mean,
it
so
does.
but I have these. So like all the what do you call them? The ceremonies and stuff.
Right.
They're written down, but like I have my great grandpa's and my grandpa's like they call them, it's called work. They're work manuals, and they're all like in symbols that don't make any fucking sense. So you look.
Well, you
at,
have to be a certain degree.
Well, I know what they are because I know what the words are because I learned it. Because you
Right.
have to learn the ritual to pass the degrees, right? So I can go through and read it, and I know what it means because I know I learned the ritual. So
Right.
that's, yeah.
Right.
But if somebody else looked at it, they'd be like, "Oh, you couldn't like."
Yeah.
There's no cipher to decode what
Right.
it's saying. Yeah.
Well, that's not the. That's not in the Bible. No, the Bible is just regular. Like I said, I haven't gone through it thoroughly because it's an heirloom, and I keep it in my safe with my precious ones. But I don't. When I did thumb through it, like when I first got it, I just kind of flipped through it. I didn't see anything. I think I seen a couple weird drawings, like Masonic drawings or pictures in it, but nothing.
Well, what's weird is that like that organization and all those kind of like the Elks and the Moose and all that shit kind of dies, right? Because they don't. Well, the Moose not so much, but like the Masonic Lodge. So the Masonic Lodge is cool in Wood River inside. The one in fucking Grafton's cool. The one in Alton's cool. Like they're all beautiful, and it's got the temple inside's beautiful. And they have meeting areas where you can.
I've been in the one in Alton. I didn't think it was that pretty.
Well, I mean, like just like
The one by the hood.
it's the one I was thinking about was like.
It's by Dooley.
Is that by like that like where Jack in the Box is and shit?
Yeah, it's back in that area, back by Dooley. It's by BD, where BD Sports is now.
That's not
Well,
the one
where it was.
that's
I
not the
guess he
one
moved
That's
again.
not the one I'm talking about. This one's up by where like Manatee Jewelers used to be and stuff.
I don't know where that is.
What's
Well, there isn't two. There's two? Okay.
This one's like right off of like, what's the road like where, fuck my god, where Cheapies is and shit. Like, not the one on the main, like the
Milton,
Milton, yeah.
right?
It's
That
down-
one's, it's right there by Milton?
Yeah, it's on Milton. It's,
Oh. Well, I'm talking about the one over in the hood
see, I didn't know
of
there
Dooley.
was one in the hood.
Yeah, I think it's a Masonic, but that's where I took my CCL course at, with the guy that did the CCW course.
But the point of it was that a bunch of old guys, right? And they're all 70 years old.
Yeah, they're all Steve.
Or older. They're all older. But like, they don't give everybody keys to the lodge. Which
Right.
you should have keys if you're a full-fledged member. But they have
You probably got to be a certain degree.
But they have pool tables in there. They have all these things where you could go and hang out and like actually have like kind of like a clubhouse, right?
Right.
Almost in a sense. But they don't let people do that. So like, why would you pay dues and go hang out with a bunch of crusty old dudes that and I mean, it's nice to talk to old people sometimes.
Well,
But if a 25-year-old doesn't want to walk in there and hang out with all those dudes, they can go somewhere else and do something.
well, but the whole point is paying the dues is to keep the lodge open and to keep doing the things that attract the members. So
And nothing attracts the members.
So, well, because don't you have to be inducted by a family member?
No, it's
Or be a legacy of some sort?
No, it's like the whole thing is if you see stuff, it says to be one, ask one. So if you knew a Mason, you'd be like, hey, how can I become a Mason? And they're like, oh, well, we'll get an application for you, and you fill out an application, and then you have to be approved. And
Right, but you have a better chance
Yes.
of being approved if
Yes.
you're a legacy.
yeah, like my great grandpa was, my grandpa
Right,
was,
right.
and, yeah, so.
My grandpa was, and I've got all your shit anyway, so you
Yeah.
might as well let me in.
Yeah, I know the secrets.
Right. I've already read your
Shit
book.
on eBay.
I know what's up.
Man.
Actually, you don't find that kind of stuff on eBay very
No,
often. You don't. Yeah, well, yeah, but that you say that, and it's a surprising thing that I actually happen to know because I've looked for that kind of stuff. You actually don't find that stuff on eBay that much.
It's just like that. It's just like Hell's Angel stuff. You can't find it. You know what I mean? Like you'd think that like somebody would die and they'd put their like
And their kids would
their
sell it.
cut up or something. You know what I mean? And
Right.
Like, no.
Their kids would sell it.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, you can't find it. So. But I collect Bibles, so when my grandpa passed away and they were getting, some of the stuff out, I was looking at that Bible. And all I did was take it home and put it in my safe. And it sits in my safe. It's probably safer at my house than it is anybody else's house ever. So
Is it like pretty good size?
yeah, it's a big
blue?
hardback.
Is it blue?
It's like a blackish blue, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really, really dark blue.
Uh-huh.
It looks black.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah, and it's got the Masonic symbol on the front of it.
Like gold,
But-
like gold leaf, like yeah.
I can't. And I've got some Bibles with some weird stuff in them, and that doesn't have anything weird in it.
You know, like
So.
and another thing with that organization is like you'd think that it's good for making connect. That was the thing that was pitched to me at the time because I was busy, and my grandpa was like, "Oh, you can make connections; it'll help you out." Those old dudes weren't connected to anything anymore. Like that was helpful,
Right.
Not that it's not what it needs to be, but it does make a difference. Like you want to invest your time in a group, and that's cool to like. It was nice to be able to help people with like scholarships for school or like poor kids or like put on these these meals for people. But like at the same time, you're there like you want to be like, hey, this guy owns the bank, so he might be able to help you get a loan easier. This and that. And there was none of that shit, So
Well, so it used to be that hey, the guy that owns you're a Mason. This guy over here with all this money, he's a Mason. You can get, and they would share. It used to be a wealth share, kind of a thing. I
Yeah.
mean, not really, but you know what I mean. Somewhat. You had a better chance. You had a better chance of the bank guy giving you some money than if you weren't, because you were cooling in the club.
yeah.
So, I used to be that way.
Well, and it make it seem like you should be able to trust those people more than the average Joe because they've done all this shit with you. Like any kind of like fraternal organization, right? Like you guys are supposed to meet on the level and you're supposed to treat each
Right.
other right and do all
Right.
these things and blah blah blah. So, but I'm behind on my dues.
Why are you behind on your dues?
Cause I never can go. The meetings are the first and third, like Tuesdays of the month or something like that, and it's like at 6, and I work till 7.
Oh.
And I have jiu-jitsu, and that's like way more productive.
They got any open space there? We can put them at.
Man,
Right. I was about to say that.
dude, that lodge.
There's your problem.
The lodge, man, the actual like the temple place
In Wood River?
It's huge inside there. It's probably as big as the whole side of where we're at. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that whole side of the gym. And it's funny because there's so many seats in there that at one time were full of people all the time, like rows of seats. And like when I was there, there'd be like one row would be full
4 or 5
on
people.
one side. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all falling off. It's definitely falling off, especially with all the bullshit on YouTube about it. That shit's not even true.
No, it's not.
Most of it ain't anyway.
Oh, yeah. Hey, come on in, buddy. It's Aiden.
What's up?
Have a seat, homie. Come and join. I'll try to get him to come for weeks now.
Oh, that mic's on too. That doesn't mean it's going to pick you up after you beat the shit out of the door with the chair for a little while. Like
What up,
an
dog?
awkward teenager.
What up?
I can hear him. What have you been doing today?
I went to the field, played for a little bit.
Did they have lights on?
Well, it wasn't dark.
When you wrote me and said, hey, come down to play soccer, it was dark.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, it was cold, but it wasn't dark.
You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Aiden. I don't know how you address yourself.
Drew.
I'm Drew's son.
Yeah. How was your New Year's? Tell us about the New Year's celebrations you got into. You don't have to incriminate yourself in any way.
Did you get fucked up?
No.
Well, no.
But, I mean, it wasn't really it's kind of underwhelming. We didn't really get much.
Underwhelming?
Yeah, it was kind of like we just sat around and then just hung out, and then New Year's happened. You know?
Yeah. Nothing too crazy then, huh?
Yeah.
I was telling them your sister still not home yet. She went to old Jacob's house yesterday
She did?
at 5.
At
And
5 o'clock yesterday?
yeah, and when I left, she still was not home.
Why is she still there?
I don't know. She's trying to move in, I guess.
Huh.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
My favorite conspiracy theory?
Mm-hmm.
Probably Project Bluebeam.
Tell us about it.
Project Blue. Oh, the laser.
I mean, it's just at some point the government could project all these gods into the sky and they all come together and everyone would support the same religion. Yeah.
So Jesus would be there for the Christians, and then Buddha, and then
over America, it would just be
They could stage an alien invasion with Project Bluebeam.
and do all this other stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's real. That's like the space laser, the G.I. Joe space laser that set Maui on fire. Get the fuck out of here.
But nothing that was blue. caught on
Nothing that was
fire.
blue, nothing that was red caught on fire either. They're showing these pictures. I'm like, are you guys ignoring the red car right there that's unscathed? What about the green trash cans that are unscathed? What about that's fucking fire works that way. Fire's weird, man. Fire's like a tornado. It's weird. It does what it wants to fucking do. So, they've showed overheads of forest fires, big forest fires, and large patches of trees are still green in the center of everything else burnt the fuck away. Why are those trees still green? They don't fucking know. Because the fire decided not to fuck with those trees. That's why.
Yeah, it's crazy how that was just jump valleys. And then
Oh yeah.
tear everything else out.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Well. So I don't have to tell you why California has such a huge wildfire problem right now, right?
Yeah.
It's because the hippies out there stopped them from clearing the forest, stopped them from don't cut the trees down. So they can't. It stopped them from creating fire breaks, and then cleaning the forest floor, because they used to clean the forest floor in sections too, so that it didn't have nothing to burn on the. So it was a fire break. So the fire would stop instead of, it could still jump because the wind, right?
Yeah.
But they had a better chance of stopping it at the fire break, so that it wouldn't burn down these towns and these cities and stuff. And the hippie was like, "Oh, you can't cut the trees down," and now it burns down cities and towns and stuff. And now it's massively out of control because of climate change.
Aren't the forest fires like an important part of like the whole
Yes.
the whole process?
Yes, that's
The
how redwoods grow.
Yeah.
That's how those redwoods grow is from the forest fires. So yeah, because it puts it's like burning grass. You go back to the grass thing. It puts nitrates in the ground, and grass loves nitrates. That's how it grows. It creates a healthy soil, nitrates. So.
That's why it always looks so much nicer after it
Yep.
burns.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
It gets rid of diseased plants. It gets rid of. It does a lot of good for a lot of things. So you have to have forest fires. It has to. It's a natural occurrence. It has to happen.
Yeah,
So-
we'll even go out and do prescribed burns and stuff.
Oh yeah, fields and shit. Yeah, to get and to get rid of the diseased crops, they'll do a prescribed burn. Yep.
Got some questions for you.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
I really don't have any questions. I'm just gonna say some shit to you. So, in high school now, do you feel like you guys have groups or cliques of people? Like when I was in school, like there was nerds and there was stoners and there was
Whoa.
and people like talk shit on the other ones and didn't get along. I feel like you guys all kind of just like hang out and get along.
Yeah, it's more like nowadays, I think it's like more like everyone's like kind of like, there's no cliques. It's kind of like everyone, like, not everyone gets along, but like, there's no cliques that everyone's a part of. Cause I mean, like, I'm friends with all the.
It's not like Mean Girls.
No, it's not like Mean Girls.
I actually like that movie a whole bunch, dude.
Regina George.
But like, I remember once like my mom like did someone's hair, right, and like
Where do
they knew who
You
I
go to
was.
Basalto?
I go to Roxana.
Oh.
They
Well,
knew-
Roxana was just as bad as Basalto, so
Back in the day.
yeah.
Right. Continue.
But like this person, my mom did their hair. Like they knew who I was, but they profiled me as like a popular kid. But I mean, like there's not really like those anywhere. There is like a certain group of people who like could be like called that like always are together and like always hang out and are friends.
Mhm.
But like I'm also friends with them, like, and I'm not really a part of their group. You know?
I feel like you guys know more people from other schools too. Like,
Oh yeah, no, we know. Like everyone knows like people from other schools, or like some people's friends are not even from our school. Like they always hang out with other people from other schools. You know.
Yeah, do the preps from Roxana still hate the preps from Basalto? Because you still have those people still exist.
Yeah.
They just maybe they don't click together like they used to. They still exist. Is there still a big rivalry? Like when I was in school, I knew a girl in Roxana, and I was from Basalto, and I was not allowed to be caught in Roxana. No
Yeah,
way, buddy.
there's still a big
That's big
rivalry.
news. Bad news for me if I got caught in Roxana.
But like I know there is still a rivalry. I mean, yeah, like for like football season, like with also like.
This
no
was
offense,
all year
not that
round.
good.
Yeah, this was
For-
all year round.
But it's like when they played us, I think it was a JV player. There was like a video that was made of like a JV player, like on top of our school logo, like for our field, and like doing something stupid on it. Like
We didn't do that
Did you
shit.
shit on it?
I think he just
There
like
was a video back then. So.
Well,
Yeah,
that's true
yeah.
too.
I
But
think he like danced on it or something, or
Mhm.
like was saying something about our school. I don't know, but like I know there's still like rivalry like that.
they didn't do the prank shit when I was. They didn't.
We
Didn't do
really
that
too
shit.
much.
So I don't. No, you see that shit in the movies and stuff, but none of it happened. That I know of. Never seen none of it. So we used to have bonfires in Basalto, and you could sneak before 255. You could sneak. I live in Cottage Hills, and you could sneak all the way to Basalto High School through the woods. Right, you never have to touch a road. You can go straight off my street into the woods, and all the way around and straight up in. There's a hole in the fence, and you get the fence in the hole, and you'd be on the football field. And I mean, they locked it, but if you came in from the parking lot and the fence was locked, you just had to jump it. It wasn't even a high fence, but you could do this and not ever be seen, right? Mm-hmm. And we snuck in one time. We collected all our fucking spray paint cans from everybody's house, and they had this big pallet bonfire built, and we snuck in and we slid fucking spray paint cans. Dude, I'm talking duffel bags full, like 50 spray paint cans in this bonfire. And we did not, it was for that weekend, and we were not there when it happened, but I was told that it was a very, 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 very big deal. They never had a bonfire ever again after that year.
I bet it was a very violent explosion.
And it was all the Cajos kids that did it, because we were all stoners. Everybody that was going to the bonfire was a bunch of preps. So we used to sit in the woods when we were in junior high. We used to sit in the woods with a very shitty low-powered BB gun and shoot the football players as they were playing football. So we'd shoot bottle rockets at them and stuff like that too sometimes. But
those are better times.
Yeah, what were they going to do, chase us? We knew them woods. We grew up in them woods. They wasn't chasing nobody. So,
do you feel like social media makes your life harder?
Kinda. I mean, like.
So, a couple aspects. Do you feel like the need that if you have to keep up with it because you're gonna miss something if you don't? Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean. Obviously, it's not a thing like where I have social media where like I'm afraid like I'll miss something. It's more like if I didn't have social media, I feel like I'd kind of be bored. Like just like I don't know. Like usually I just look at what other people's doing or like see like what's going on with sports or anything like that. You know? Like there's just I don't have like a need for it. Like where like I need to like I have like FOMO, but
I don't know. We didn't have that shit when we were in high school. I think it was better.
Didn't have anything.
Yeah, I mean, you had to like just figure out what was happening. But because I feel like the amount of information you have to take in is way more than the amount of information that we had to take in. So it's like an overload.
Definitely like a lot of information, but it's also like how you know things about people. Like you can just definitely find out something about another person just by looking up something on like Facebook or Instagram.
Well, that's a bad thing too.
Like,
it's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, because it can go both ways, right? Like, they can do the same for you. So you got to mind your P's and Q's a little more.
There's definitely a lot of people, like, even in, like, high school, like, my school, like, that definitely should be, like, wary of, like, their, digital footprint.
Damn, way to use fancy words.
Well, everybody should be wary of their digital footprint.
So
do you, so here's good to you bring that up. Do you use your full name on social media? Your real name on social media? Like your dad uses his real name on social media? Full real name on social media?
I don't use my my middle name, but I mean like first and last, yeah. Like.
Do you know that's very, 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 very dangerous? Very dangerous. Extremely dangerous. So a lot of people think I don't use my first name on social media because I'm hiding for some reason, or I don't want somebody to know who I am, or because I'm trolling, or no, it's very irresponsible. Very, very irresponsible. I can let's say you take a picture of your car outside of your house, right? And your address isn't in it, and I've got no other information to go off of, right? So even if you go through the process of getting rid of the geolocation tag on it, all photos have geolocation tags on them. Even if you go through, even if you send it to an email and then resave it from that email, that should get rid of the geolocation tag. But even if you do that and you post that picture of your car in your neighborhood, I have your full and your last name. I can go, all I need is a general idea. Me personally, all I need is if I can do this, then somebody else can do it 1,000 times better than me, I promise you. All I need is a general location. Like, okay, here's a picture of you and your football team. I know you're in Roxana, so that means you're in this area because you're right. So I have that much information. I have your full, your last name. I can find out where you live. I can find out who your mother is, who your father is, who your grandpa is. I can find out where they live. I can find out where I can find out where they work. I can find out how much money they make. I can find out like that. And it all starts with a picture you posted or a couple pictures on your social media. Even if you got them locked down, that don't mean shit. A couple pictures on your social media, and you have your full and last name.
Yeah, it's good.
Never use your full name on social media. Never. Use your legal real name on social media.
Well, I mean, people are gonna know who I am anyways. For me personally, I mean, for him, yeah, I get it. But like for me, like I'm a public figure as far as working with the community, so it doesn't
You're a
really
movie
matter.
star.
No, you know what I mean, though. Like,
Right.
So it's like,
But people,
He's
but the
anonymous.
people, but you're wrong because the people who are going to know who you are by your pictures are local people, not some weirdo in fucking Nevada who's trying to steal your identity or who's trying to, you know what I mean?
he's on his couch with a list of people to kill,
Right.
and he has lists
Well,
of-
yeah, whatever. Right.
Good thing I was nice to them.
Glad I called that guy.
But that's not those are people, not somebody scouring Facebook trying to steal your identity, which is what happens. I used to be on a website called layitlow.com, and I'm very, very infamous for my years on that website, and mostly for posting dick pictures and one picture of my butthole.
There was pinworms around it. It was
Right?
terrifying.
No, it wasn't Ben Worms. But I got people fired through the off-topic section on the off-topic section of that website. People lost their jobs. People lost so really only one dude, and he deserved it. It wasn't like out of nothing. He worked in an Orange Grove. He worked at the office for some Orange Grove company, some company in Orange Grove. And I don't know what he did. He worked in the office, and but he had access. And so one night he posts pictures of him dumping like all this shit, and it's in an Orange Grove. Well, fuck you, buddy. That ain't cool. Mm-hmm. And he's like bragging about it, and he was always a fucking dickhead anyway. He was always a little mouth runner. But like we went down there and we talked shit. That's all it was. We would just talk shit on each other all day long. Photoshop pictures and just talk shit. Right. And this guy was always kind of a jack off about it. He always, like I take shit too far. I'll take a joke too far, but I won't take shit too far into a personal. And he always tried to do that, right? So he posts these pictures, and I'm like, oh yeah, motherfucker, okay. 2 days later, he was fired. I'm the reason he was fired.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't mess with that. Yeah.
And it's all because he posted a picture, and that gave me a general location where he is and he used his full name a couple of places. That's all I needed. I had his job, and he lost his job for it.
Isn't that a thing though too? Like where employers, I mean, I haven't been self-employed, right? So I don't know. But don't employers like scour your, like you said, digital footprint to see what you've posted over the years and not hire you or not fire you? And
yeah, they can.
Because in 2014 you called some guy a fag or something, and they're like, well, you can't do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's why I don't really post too much on there, just short of job posting and shit like that. I don't get on there and put a bunch of personal opinions and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I can never post personal opinions.
There's so many people. There's so many people on there looking to steal identities and to get over that you can't. It's dangerous. You shouldn't. Even you shouldn't do it. You should not have your full. You just shouldn't. It's irresponsible. So that's why. Why do you think so many people are? That's such a prevalent crime right now. Is identity theft and stuff. Because people are putting it out there. People are making it so fucking easy to do.
So this dude today, he's a famous jiu-jitsu guy, right? Like, it's Tom DeBlas.
Mm-hmm.
And he put a post out, and his post was, hey, I'm gonna pay for somebody's plane ticket. I'm gonna pay for so many sessions of private training with me. I'm gonna cover the whole thing. He's like, in the comments, tag 3 friends, put your name and where you're from. And I'm like, that's the most fucking dumb thing. People did it.
Oh yeah.
It was like, I'm Juan Valdez from, Colombia on there or whatever, you know what I mean? And
This is my donkey.
yeah.
Right.
but you know what I mean? Like, and now there was 1,000 comments of people.
His name's Roberto.
Yeah.
You see all those other things on there too. Like people post those things out there, like, "Oh, what's your favorite pet's name?"
Yep.
And then you just see like
Yep.
2,000 people down there like Fido.
Because that's the question.
Yep.
On a two-step verification or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
What's your first pest name?
Yeah, what's your hometown? Where'd you go to grade school? All this stuff.
What
People are
street did you
answering.
grow up on?
Yeah.
So I'm not. So like on Instagram, they tell you not to add those scammers on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I add them all. It's just because it bumps your Instagram's all about numbers, right? It's all about followers. I add them all. It's all about listen. But I got a 540. You're gonna steal my identity? Make it better at least, please.
Steal my identity.
Right.
It's gonna be better afterwards.
Right. Make it better. Shit.
How's
Can't hurt me.
How's Gallagher going?
It's going good actually. We start back up tomorrow.
Practice.
What is it?
St. Louis Scott Gallagher. It's a soccer club.
Oh.
He's fancy select club player.
Gallagher, like the guy that smashes watermelons?
Yep.
Same
That
spelling.
Gallagher?
Huh?
There's a comedian performer named Gallagher who smashed watermelons in the front row of shows and got people. He's an interesting fellow. No, but yeah.
He's an interesting fella.
But so like, when's your first game? When's it gonna be?
Well, it was supposed to be like, I think it's like January 16th.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to have a friendly, but it got canceled because the coach that we were facing was in a wedding and didn't tell my coach. So it got canceled.
Do you feel like you're fit? Do you feel like you're in top form?
Yeah. I mean, I have no issues.
Okay. What position are you gonna be playing?
I mean,
So you got leveled up as a center.
Sophomore.
Yeah. No, I mean, your position.
Center back.
Yeah, center back, right? So, do you have to go in as that, or you can?
I think it depends because my coach that we had last year, he went on like something for like a business sort of thing. He went back to Brazil, which is where he was from. He went back there, and
For
so
Carnival. I'm just kidding. It's a joke, but
he like left, so we had to hire a new coach for my team that I'm on now. So it just depends because this new coach that we have has to monitor our whole team and like put us in places.
Are you playing with any of the same kids as last time? Do they get level?
I
Okay.
play with multiple like new
Right on.
kids and the same kids.
Here's a question about sports for everybody. So I saw there was, maybe it was a couple days ago, it'd be today because it was the tally of goals for the year for soccer. Like total number of goals professionally, right? Should the league you play in, and this goes for any sport, like Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo,
Right.
he finished first in goals.
He finished first, 53 goals in the Saudi Pro League.
Yeah, okay, so he's playing in the Saudi league.
Soccer's gay.
You know, it is, but it's awesome. But he
Soccer's for women.
actually,
Excuse me.
they can't.
Something in my throat.
The women's team can't even beat a fucking under 15 Texas team,
Yeah.
like boys team. But
They can only go up
women.
now after they've had some people retire.
yeah, no, but no. The question is, for any sport, it could be football, it could be baseball, it doesn't matter. If you're playing in a league that's like not as strong as, let's say so major leagues, and you play in the major leagues and you hit 50 home runs,
Right.
and then you're in the minor leagues and you hit 54, and you're like in the lowest class of the minor leagues.
Right.
Should even though these are still major leagues, but should your 54 be better than count just as much as the?
No.
But it's what.
Right.
This is
No,
what we're
because you're
saying.
competing
the
because
thing- the
you're
Saudi-
competing at a different level.
The Saudi Pro League it's still like a
Well,
professional
but
league.
this
You're
is
talking
but
about, like,
but here we
Saudi
but
against
no
the
listen
Premier League.
listen you're
Yeah.
talking about a man's sport and you're talking about a woman's sport. There's a difference. There's difference.
But we're saying is like top tier, Premier League guy scores how many goals did Holland score?
Holland scored 36, 37.
Top of the world, like that's and then now you're playing against in the Saudi league and you're scoring that, but you're still saying you're the best.
And he probably would have scored more, but he got flicked in the air and he was out for
He
3
did.
weeks for injury.
He did. He flopped. Yeah. I just thought. So what, do you think?
Why
that,
do they do that so much? Come on, man, you're into it. Tell me why this happens
mean-
so much in soccer.
For
It's happening in basketball a lot now too.
advantage, Really?
advantage? I think there's a lot.
dumb.
There's a lot on the line. I think more in a lot of these big leagues. So
Because if you're in the box like right next to the goal and you get contact on you and it gives you a free shot at just another goal, you're gonna do it. Like,
Well, yeah, but they can do that. The same thing would work in hockey, and they don't do it in hockey.
I got a question. Do you think they should be penalized if they get caught flopping, though? Because there's a lot of them where the ref is just letting them play. They're not calling as much as they used to.
Yeah.
Well,
Should they get penalized for flopping? Would that cut it down a little bit?
I mean, I don't think that would cut it down. I mean, they do give yellow cards for flopping anyway. Like if it's like a clear
Like a
flop.
blatant, yeah.
Yeah, like they give yellow cards anyway. But I mean, maybe if they're penalized for it, I think it would they'd do it less.
And that more yellow cards than just your penalties and getting the
Or what if they, because flopping, they're faking an injury, right? So what if when they did it,
They had to leave.
They were immediately off the field for at least 10 minutes or whatever, right?
Yeah, because
Somebody else had to take whatever shot they get or whatever, and they have to be off the field for 10 minutes. They have to be medically examined. What if they did that? That would certainly stop it too.
Yeah, because
pull some of those guys off the field for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're injured? Well, you got to go see the medical team then. We got to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, exactly. Their butthole just fell out when they got hit, and they're a little writhing in pain, and then they pop up and they're sprinting just
vagina
as
fell
fast.
out.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, that is the only part of the game that bothers me is the flopping. I get it in the box but if you take contact in the box and get knocked down.
I get trying to draw the penalty or whatever they're trying to, because that's what they're trying to do, right? Draw a
They're
penalty.
trying to draw, advantage.
I get it trying to draw a penalty, but you could do this. They could literally do the same thing in hockey, and it literally doesn't. It only happens. It doesn't happen in hockey. So why are they doing it so much in soccer when they could do it, and when it transfers over to a different sport and they don't do it in the other sport?
And it's definitely like
I mean,
culture type of thing within the
Well,
sport.
hockey's not full of sissies.
Hockey,
No.
they just don't do that.
well, I mean,
I think there's more contact.
there's more contact in hockey.
tradition-
Yeah.
or consistently in hockey too.
Well, yeah, because there's not supposed to be contact in soccer, right? Not
Not as much.
really,
Not as much.
right?
As long as you play the ball, you can hit them.
Right, right. But there's not. You're not supposed to just plow somebody over.
This guy does.
Well, that's the same thing, though. The hockey's the same way. If you hit somebody, it's got to be part of the play. You can't just run up behind. If the puck's down ice, you can't hit that guy. You can't hit that guy.
You can't just go cross check somebody for no reason.
I mean they do, but they're not supposed to.
Well, it's just sometimes it's also people who are fouling are doing it on purpose just to save themselves. But when they're getting a clear contact, they get fouled and they're given a chance to do it again because if someone's running on the goal and they have no one in front of them and then they get pushed over and their chance is gone, they get another chance because it was a clear opportunity. And some people flop just because they'll have another a better opportunity than they had.
So I mean, again, they could do the same thing in hockey, and they just don't. They don't do it. So hockey used to be a very violent sport, though, and I don't think soccer's ever been that violent.
I went to an American Hockey League game about 20 years ago, and every 5 minutes there's a fight.
Oh yeah,
It was-
oh yeah. That's when
blood
hockey.
gloves
That's when
thrown
hockey
out.
was good. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a little excessive, right? But that's when.
Oh, it was crazy.
That's when
It was-
now there's hardly ever a fight.
No.
And I don't even watch I only watch playoff hockey. I don't even watch hockey before that. I kind of try to keep track of what my teams are doing and stuff like that. But
There's a full season of the playoffs, man.
But yeah, I only watch. Well, they let them play more in the playoffs. They let more slide. So in the regular season, they'll call them for every fucking thing, everything. They'll just if it even looks like you cross check somebody, gone, done. It's called. It's the play stopped. It's done. But in the playoff season, they plow them over and they just let them keep playing. As long as the guy gets up, they just keep playing. So they let them get away with a lot. But it needs to go back to the enforcer days. It really does.
Yeah.
It really
Made
does.
hockey
Well,
a lot
yeah.
more fun for the casual
Oh yeah.
fan to watch.
Oh,
Talking
yeah.
about enforcers that's getting fights, dude. That's
Yeah.
if you got checked by somebody and you're kind of a sissy.
You're right. If you're a puck handler,
Yeah.
you always had a defenseman or you had an offensive player or a defensive player. You always had a defensive player that was 6'2", 260 pounds.
Just blast.
He could skate, but he wasn't skating nowhere fast. But his whole job was if the other team, if somebody other team blatantly tried to injure, if it looked like he blatantly tried to injure one of the puck handlers, one of the fancy fast guys, then his whole job was to, that's the end of you, bud. You're out. You're done.
Great. It was nice watching Chase and Twist back then.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
All right, dude. Kings used to be my favorite team to watch, and Kings were so good back then because even if you beat them, like in a playoff series, even if the Kings lost that series, that team usually didn't win the next 2 or 3 games because they were so beat up from playing the Kings the whole time. So the Kings used to take people out of the playoffs and lose. They would still lose all their games, but they'd just take that team. That team would be out of the playoffs in the next round because they were too beat up. So the Rangers used to be the same way. Chicago was the same way. So I'm not a Blues fan, so fuck the Blues. But Chicago was the same way. And,
Dude, Chelios, Roenick, Probert, Belfour, all
Detroit was another rough team to play. And one of the East Coast teams, I'm going to get it wrong. I don't remember if it was the Bruins or the Penguins. They were really rough, really rough team to play. But the Kings were the worst out of all of them. The Kings would just, it's like they went on the street and taught gangsters how to fucking how to ice skate. Right.
You got to do nothing. Just that guy Gretzky, he'll go score.
Right. He'll go score. And your job is to level anybody that gets anywhere near him.
Man.
Right.
What classes you got next semester?
First hour is strength and conditioning, like lifting. Second hour is Spanish. Like some of them didn't move. Like Spanish didn't move. It was second hour. Third hour is U.S. history.
It's all a lie.
It's all a lie. Most of it.
Fifth hour is consumers ed, like taxes and stuff.
Damn.
Well, they're teaching the taxes now? Nice.
Outside.
Nice. The internet did something.
Right.
Sixth hour is algebra. Seventh hour is Bio 2.
Is it Algebra 2?
It's algebra 2, yeah.
Yeah. Is that Algebra 2 trigonometry? Is that what that is?
I know what trigonometry is, but like we're not doing that right now because we already did it.
Okay. I don't know. Hell yeah. So is that pre-calc? Is that what it is?
Pre-calc, I can take that next year.
Okay. Nice. So you're pretty confident about these classes? You're gonna get straight A's?
And now they know where you'll be in the building the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just got him murdered.
I did. They're gonna be watching for you. What's your security? What's your security at school?
What's your locker?
Our
Hey, what's your locker
What's your
combination?
locker number?
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Our security?
Yeah, I'm curious about.
We have multiple
door?
doors that there's our high school doors, which is near the student parking, which they don't let us go through in the morning for some reason. But they're always locked unless you buzz in, which they usually, if you buzz in, they'll let you in. They don't really look.
Well, damn, that's not good.
Yeah.
Man, remember when they used to be open?
Yeah.
Like all the doors were open all the time.
Every door.
You could go anywhere you wanted. Right.
And then there's the main high school doors where everybody can go in, even if you're junior high. There's these big staircase, and then that's also can be locked, and there's a lady that's sitting there that lets people in.
Is she trained in any kind of combat?
No, it's just frail old lady. Sits there.
She's trained in Karen.
So you don't have a liaison officer or anything?
We have a school officer now, and she carries a gun, and she's from Bethalto actually, but she's our only officer that's there. And it's her and our principal and vice principal that walk around. It's kind of though.
Did I tell you that Sailor's officer goes to jiu-jitsu at our school?
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Troy. Yeah. That's her school. This her school officer. And so I'm gonna choke out your fucking liaison officer. Don't you do that, Dad?
Well, yeah, 'cause her and Charlie are in the same school, so.
It's hilarious.
You gotta talk shit to him while you're doing it too.
Yeah, I'm like, how are you gonna protect these kids?
Right. How you gonna keep my daughter safe if they're sleeping, bitch?
Man, ridiculous. What was your favorite Christmas gift?
My favorite
No, there's no pressure. There's no pressure here.
There's lots of pressure.
My
You're intelligent enough to answer right?
yeah. Is it offensive industries? What is it called? The knife.
Yeah.
Is that the one he gave you?
Yeah.
Okay. Smart. He was smart enough to give the right answer.
You have it on you now?
It's a trick question, buddy.
No. I don't
Oh,
know,
it's his
no.
favorite gift, but he's not carrying it.
Well,
No, it's a really cool knife, dude. Made. Yeah.
I didn't bring it because I didn't feel like carrying it around. I'm also wearing sweatpants, so I couldn't clip it to my
Yeah.
pocket. So it'll rip my pocket.
Can't even take it to school.
Yeah, I don't think I'll do that.
I'll get you a G10 knife you can take to school.
A G10 knife.
Mhm.
What you want 3D printed? You got so excited earlier.
The-
Oh, that's metal. I can't print that.
I mean,
Lower.
Oh, okay.
yeah, you want to print? Yeah, you. Oh, I got some switches that I need printed.
Switches.
They're just switches for things,
Switches. For what?
not guns.
Like what kind of switches? Oh, okay. Do you have the STI, STL,
File.
whatever the file? Do you have the file?
Probably get it. Yeah.
So if you get me the file on an SD card, on a mini SD card, or on a USB stick,
Sweet.
yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't give a fuck. Give
It's
a
like
fuck.
Huh?
Classified stuff.
Classic.
I don't give a fuck.
It's not good.
I have to get it working first, though.
Yeah.
I've had the damn thing 2 nights now, and I can't figure out how to.
So is it one that so some guy was talking about it at the office.
So I'm very thorough when I buy something like this because I want it to fucking work, and I don't want to have to keep fucking with it because it'll just get broken if that's the case.
It's your friend, yeah.
I won't use it. I'll end up just fucking putting my fist through something. So I was very thorough when I buy something. So I bought the machine, and I actually tried to buy one used, but the fucking marketplace, nobody answers their fucking ads. They're not actually selling anything on the motherfucker. But I bought the machine, and then I bought all the recommended upgrades. I bought a machine that's been out for a couple of years because I read that
all the bugs are out of
that's,
it.
well, they're open source at this point, which means that everybody and their mom's writing or correcting firmware for them.
Okay.
So, and they're adding all these things from, well, this more expensive machine has this. I can put this on my machine, and then I can write the firmware to match it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. Was I bought all the expensive stuff to make that machine a more expensive machine. And right now I'm trying to fucking figure the firmware out because that's beyond me.
So what the guy was talking about was the biggest problem was he bought a more expensive machine because the one he had, he'd be 14 hours into a print or something, right? And then it would become unleveled and it was done. So like this is like he's got a machine like self levels, he says now or something. Corrects.
That's part of what I did. That's
Okay.
part of what I bought was a self-leveling machine. So, but he probably just had it in a bad spot. He's probably in a bad area. Mm-hmm. And then I bought an Ender 3, which has been out for a long time, but it's all open source now. It's all the firmware, like people are writing their own firmware for it, and people who know what the fuck they're doing are writing their own firmware, and they know, the community knows these machines, so they know what's going on, what happened, and then they know why, and they know the fix. It's all out there now, and they're not any bigger or better than like a new one they put out. The new ones print faster, but you're still printing 6-7 hours at a fucking time. And the faster you print, and it makes sense, the faster you print, the higher of a failure rate you have because everything's moving faster. So it's that means that that means the faster you're moving, that means the less of a mistake something has to make somewhere. You know what I mean? That makes it more, so I don't know if I'm interested in moving faster anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not making like a production line of stuff, then
Right.
What does it matter,
Right, but what was I reading? I was reading something where the machine with the different firmware and stuff, and you can buy a couple more things, and I can make that machine print as fast as the newer machines are printing anyway. So
Sweet.
so
Heck yeah. Dang. Oh, so where's your girlfriend at?
At her house.
You were like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go kick it with the dudes and talk shit on this
Well,
podcast.
She didn't want to come.
Well, I would hope not. So how awkward was it coming through that front door? Because I told you.
She's just used to not coming at this point.
Okay.
But
So we're not talking.
got him.
It was like, it wasn't that awkward. I mean, I didn't know which door you meant, because, like, you said the door's open, but I saw, like, no.
I said the garage.
You just said that you were in the garage.
Yeah,
So I
but-
came through there, and I walked towards where I thought the garage was, and then this guy, he was just like, "Who are you looking for?" And I was like, "Well, I'm looking for the garage." And he was like, "Oh, it's this one."
Did you try to stop in the booth and drop a sick beat?
Yeah.
I looked at them, and, like, they were standing there doing their music stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're not supposed to be doing right now. So
It's quiet time.
for these 2 hours, they're not supposed to have anybody in this studio for these 2 hours.
Wait.
I can't wait to get away from them, to be honest with you. So at least this, I can't wait to get this away from them, because it's dirty back here. I'm gonna have to tell Mike he can't turn the heater off back here no more, because this was the LCD screen on this was all screwed up
Was
when
it?
it first started. It's fixed now, but it's
Well, like I
obviously
said-
not
like
good
I said-
for it.
So I came in and, dude, even though the heat said it was on, it wasn't going. I took the batteries out and put them back in, and then it kicked back on.
Yeah, it's just cold. LCD screens can't be cold, so they freeze up. They're called liquid crystal. Not
We
they ain't got antifreeze in them.
you have to get a hold of me tomorrow,
Alright.
because we might have to go do something with your car.
Alright.
Okay, just saying.
What are we doing? Dude?
Picking up lesbians.
Yes, Subarus. No, we have to go and get your license plate and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So since you haven't ever done that yet, because you've been too busy.
Okay.
He's always too busy to hang out. That's cool though.
I came up.
Huh?
I came up this time.
You did come up
Yeah.
this time. I'm talking about in general though. You're always just busy.
Okay.
How old are you?
16.
Fuck, that's why. Fucking hang out with your old ass at 16.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
The other night was the longest I've seen my daughter in 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, when we went to dinner.
Damn.
I mean, you're kind of into the same things. He plays a girl's sport, and you wrestle around with dudes all night long. So
Alright.
He'd be a lot cooler if he did jiu-jitsu too, but he just won't do it.
well, you can't do two gay things, or then
They
you
can't,
know.
but they kind of cancel each other out then. And it's like you're just net neutral.
Okay.
So, listen, you can kiss a dude, you can't look him in the eyes. You can't kiss a dude and look him in the eyes.
Yeah.
All right. So soccer is basically kissing dudes, and then jiu-jitsu is basically looking him in the eyes.
So
You can't do both.
You can't do both.
Yeah,
Well,
you
see,
can't do both.
See, but like when we're choking people, we whisper in their ears. We're like, you like
Right.
that?
Right.
You like that?
Right.
He's like, I'm never coming to hang out with you guys
How fast?
again.
How fast would you let go of somebody if you wrapped them up like that and they went, oh?
I'd be like, huh.
Just make your legs tighter around me.
Could you squeeze tighter, please?
Choke me, daddy.
I wonder if there is weird people that do shit like do jiu-jitsu because they like to get choked.
Just gotta 100%.
That's
seen the
the
world
reason why I
today?
wouldn't do jiu-jitsu, is because I cannot stand. I would not be able to stand having my head wrapped. I'd tap probably almost immediately.
Yeah. Have you seen the world today? You know, there's people-
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
probably cheap for him too. You get $150 and have all these men choke me out all the time. That's it.
Can I wear my dog suit?
Like, what? See, a bunch of furries coming up.
I brought my own collar.
right.
What is happening, man? Good.
All right. Are we done?
I think so.
Yeah, we're done. All right. Thanks for watching. Maybe Mike will be back next week. Maybe he won't. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. So
He seems to be busy.
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's got going on. So, not my turn to babysit him. I have no idea. So,
Well,
if not, we will continue forward. So,
yeah.
like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching 109. So, see you next week.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks.
Heck yeah.